Good evening, my tiny YouTube scratching family. I am at home this evening, out on the porch, enjoying the cool and the rain. Thankfully, not as severe as some other places right now. That's one reason for the video. You know, if anybody in any coastal areas or the Gulf or Florida, sees any of my videos, just know that, we're thinking about you. Hopefully everybody's safe. If you're somewhere that you know for certain is going to be impacted by this pending storm, just leave. There's nothing there that's so important that's worth the risk of life that can't be replaced. It's already been some pretty severe damage in places off the coast. I guess the silver lining being that it's pulling away from the coast somewhat and taking a pretty sharp right turn, which is odd to me how they can tell that ahead of time before it actually happens. But I guess that's a good thing, because where I'm at in Virginia, we're probably not going to get any of it at all. It probably won't even be close. Whereas, several days ago, it was going to be coming right across the middle of the state. So, everybody just be safe. Take care of each other. Help your neighbors. Look out for elderly and those with kids. Anyway, outside of that, so I haven't put up any videos in a few days. It has been extreme torture here at the house. I have had the worst respiratory infection for the past 2 weeks that I think I've ever had. It has had me almost completely floored. I've hardly left the house. I've been pounding breathing treatments and steroids and antibiotics to try to beat it. Now I'm out of antibiotics and need to order some more online, but then you have to wait for them. But hopefully I can scrounge up the money and at least get the order put in tomorrow, so I'll have them by the middle of next week. Just can't seem to kick it. On top of it, my daughter has had a fever for the past 3 days, and has missed school and has a really bad sore throat. She went to the doctor today and they did a culture, and the results won't be back till Monday. Hoping it's not strep, but she'll miss school again tomorrow. That'll be 4 days in a row. So we will have a whole lot of work to do over the weekend. And that's just two. My fiance, who is a nurse, works about an hour away from where we live, was given some new medication a couple weeks ago to deal with some headache issues and some neurological things, and has started causing heart palpitations randomly. She was at work late last week and started having concerns with that, and left early and is waiting to go back to the doctor to have that remedied. And to ice the cake, her father last Saturday had a heart attack at home, and has been in the hospital since. And turns out that they're pretty certain he actually had a heart attack a couple weeks before that as well. So he's had stents put in. They had the balloon on his leg to help pump his heart for several days, which has been removed now, but now he's in a ton of pain. Trying to get him to get up and walk around a little bit, but after something like that, you gotta work slow to get your energy and stability back. So there's no certain time when he'll be getting out. But told him tonight. I said, don't rush it. Take your time, a little at a time. That's a pretty hard hit on the body. Excuse me. Especially at his age. So it's definitely slow to recoup that energy. I haven't had a chance to get any videos up. I really don't have the money to be buying tickets. Like I've mentioned in a couple videos, usually it's a relative or a friend who I'll scratch tickets for, because it's just not something in the budget for me right now. I haven't been able to leave the house. I mean, I went to the drugstore the other day and thought I was going to die standing in line. Just lost my breath. So congested I couldn't move anything in my chest. Kind of like I'm dealing with right now. So, as much as I want to be part of the community in the circle, people that do this and share amongst each other, which I love, it's just, I can't play as big as some people can right now. I might grab me a little one every once in a while, or I might jump on somebody else's page or channel once in a while and get a ticket. I mean, I don't have any other extracurricular activities, so I don't guess that's the end of the world. I mean, I am interested in doing group books on my channel. I still get to be part of the action, just I don't have to spend the money. Sorry about that. Had a bit of a coughing spell and had to let the dog out. One of them. That's one of our dogs. That's Oakley. He's a rescue. Belonged to a hoarder in West Virginia. That's my baby. And my kitty cat is Spooky. Had him since he was born. He was the son of a stray when we bought the house. She had 3. Never really figured out what happened to the rest of them, but he's been here the whole time, 5 years almost. God, I love that cat. Anyway, so yeah, as far as tickets go, I need to try to get you guys something to look at, because I want you to ride along with me when things start looking up and getting better. Right now, with all the medical drama going on, plus my fiance is taking classes online because she's trying to go back and get her RN. There's just no extra. Plus, she may wind up having to take some unpaid medical leave for a couple weeks to take care of her father, which is going to really push us backwards, deeper than we already are. Her vehicle has got some miles on it now and needs some work, because I'm worried about the front end falling apart on it. Most of which I've got the parts for, just can't afford to get the work done. It's just not something I can afford. Plus it needs tires. I finally have a vehicle. I haven't had one in over a year. I got steamrolled on a piece of crap minivan from a couple that lives nearby. It's a long story, but I got taken advantage of really bad, and wound up with no vehicle at all. I have a nice vehicle that I got at a decent price, but it needs a fuel pump, and that fuel pump is a little bit out of reach right now too. But her car is the priority, because she's the one that needs to be able to get back and forth to take care of her father and get to work, which, like I mentioned, was an hour away. So I'm trying to figure out that, and I've got the issue with the heat pump that I need to figure out before it gets cold. it's just too much. It really is. It's frustrating sometimes. Seems impossible to keep up, or when you get behind, even more impossible to catch up. So neither of us really have friends or family that we can go to like most people, for help or loans or anything of that nature. So we got to get by on our own the best we can. And that's what we do. We ain't got much. That's our little house. That's one of our dogs. You saw him. We got 2 more dogs. A little bitty Chihuahua that turned out after we got her. She's got really bad cataracts and a really bad heart murmur. And in the past year has developed a seizure problem. So she's got to be kept on seizure medication. So that's a whole nother thing. But not that I expect any people that are new to my channel to be willing to just, fork out help and assistance. I am going to post the link to my You Caring page in the comments on this in the hopes that some people will at least take the time to read it and see and understand what it is we're dealing with and going through on top of all the new stuff. And if not willing to help, maybe at least just share it with other people. I'm so sorry. I cannot get that out of my chest to save my life. Just share it if you think it's, worthy of sharing. I'll see if I can get something together for you guys in the next couple days to see. If you're interested in doing some group books, there's some really fun $10 tickets. Plus they got the new $30 ticket that, I'd love to see a book of. Anyway, so that about sums it up for now. I didn't mean for this to go this long. I just feel like crap and kind of felt good to talk a little. I feel like garbage, and I probably look even worse. I'm not trying to hide who I am or what I look like, but I just don't feel like being on camera right now. Anyway, I appreciate the time. I'm going to try to go to the computer later and find out who the first sub was to join, because I wanted to do a little something special for that person, and then a little more as they come aboard. So I promised I would do that. I just haven't had a chance to get to it. So anyway, everybody stay safe. Take care of each other. Love one another. Pray for one another. And I will talk to you again soon. Thanks.